Most people get comfortable. They stop growing, they stop working on themselves, they stop stretching, they stop pushing themselves, and they end up becoming very cynical about life, and they throw in the towel on themselves, on their families, and on their dreams. And the other thing is that most people don't feel worthy. What I'm doing now, I could have been doing years ago. But because I did not have a college education, because I didn't believe in myself, because I allowed other people's opinion of me to control my destiny, I didn't act on my ideas. So I applaud you for your dreaming. I can tell you that it's possible.
I'll tell you what, you'll never finish what you start. You gotta get off your ass, cause time ain't gonna last. 40 and you still ain't got no good job. I remember what you told me, Grandma. You might as well go ahead and rob a nigga. Might as well go ahead and elect my niggas. And you ain't even got a college degree to show for. Stay ready, you ain't gotta give back. You the leader in True Nation, huh? And you lead people straight to hell, man. Like everybody. Stay ready, you ain't gotta give back. Reprobate mind,
all praises to Yahweh. I finally made it out the mental chains. Know through your pain, it's a way out. I took the road less traveled, yeah, I was with you, take the same route. Betrayal of death, I don't know what's worse. That daily bread or that bread, what you choosing first? Teach my people how to hustle, that's the easy part. But all the money in this world can change your evil heart. Was born and raised here in Babylon. Told I was nothing but a black man. Never said who I descended from. Shalam Yasharahla, yeah, we back, fam. True success ain't what you got, bro. True success is what you are and what you not, bro. Glass ceiling, dodging feelings like potholes. Guard your spirit from these niggas and Diablos. Keep it humble, but you rumble when your line pressed. Demonize me all you want, but know my kind blessed. This the gospel uncensored, go and tell a friend. Come up out of her, my people cease to dwell in sin. 12 tribes, we the people of the Most High. Don't be surprised to see those chariots come out the sky. Just a prophet, I don't claim to be a known scholar. This is chapter 1 to Tazayawan Ariala. Yeah. Never make a promise you can't keep.
Cornmeal, these niggas sound crazy.
Tribe. Yeah. Yeah. This for everybody out there looking for that 15 minutes of fame. Sometimes it just ain't enough.
They don't celebrate you till you want or you go. Been running all my life, tell the truth, I was just trying to be known. When you don't make it to the top, that's on my tribe, I swear you fall all alone. Now that my numbers and my views is going up, I'm getting calls on my phone. Unless they realize, swear they never celebrate you till you on or you go.
I joke a lot, but I could be for real. I swear I miss my nigga Young B for real. Chaplains pour some Hennessy, I need a drink for real. The future gone, my nigga never got to ink a deal. Lost the goat, the streets is cutthroat. Second guessing cause we keep on coming up short. Before my grandma passed on Dave, I was in the booth. Almost lost my fire ride, now I'm in this truth. They don't love you when you move in wisdom. They only care for what you got to give them. I didn't sign so I didn't benefit them. They expected me to lose but I got beneficial. I wouldn't let nobody write my narrative. Want the truth whatever it is. Trusting people, yeah, that's been an issue. This just another rags to riches story. The only difference I'ma give you how all the glory. They don't celebrate you till you want or you go. Been grinding all my life, tell the truth, I was just trying to be known. When you don't make it to the top, that's on my tribe, I swear you fall all alone. Now that my numbers and my views is going up, I'm getting calls on my phone. Unless they realize, swear they never celebrate you till you on or you go. They don't care if I'm the hardest My babies, they gon' show me love regardless. Grandma passed, I swear I wanted to be heartless. Malik and Shay Berry, Mariah at my darkest. Well, my brother, he got on and he got ghosts. Left me bitter, that's my nigga that I love most. Why my niggas, why they always seem to turn on me? I ain't gon' lie, that shit hurting me for eternity. Though I ain't perfect, I could learn to be. That rule came and changed me eternally. If niggas say that I didn't love them, then they lying, When they almost killed my nigga, I was crying, Some homies wouldn't, but I roll with you. So many days up in that stew, I share my soul with you. I see my old homies turn Hollywood. It's just a kite to let you know.
They don't celebrate you till you on or you go. Been grinding all my life, tell the truth, I was just trying to be known. When you don't make it to the top, that's on my tribe, I swear you fall all alone. Now that my numbers and my views is going up, I'm getting calls on my phone. Unless they real, I swear they never celebrate you till you on or you go.
Check out this verbo.
Oh, man. Michael, they're your cousins.
Look at me. Here I am. Right where I belong.
When you pull up, you better call me. I'm coming out, just let them know that this ain't all me. I changed my ways, y'all better owe me. My message changed, now they don't know me. Better late than never. No more getting at these hoes, no more chasing cheddar. Thought I'd be known before my 30s, some shit take forever. Dollar bills, but got that manner, I could change the weather. I took the road, less travel, better late than never.
Let me tell you what kind of man I become. They see your hustle and your struggle, they don't care where you from. These wicked serpents wanna know what I'm on. Build my name and legacy in Israel, then I'm gone. Too many rappers / actors been usurping the throne. We at the bottom, but you steady keeping up with the Jones. Had a homie like a brother, he got on and was gone. Heard he sold his soul doing shit that we don't condone. Probably can't look me in my eyes, much less pick up the phone. Heard he ain't looking out for fam, if that be true then he wrong. Jesus, Judas, Caesar, Brutus, I had 6, I had grown. There ain't no greater therapy than telling truth in a song. I ain't tripping, got my Akim where I belong. Stay in these scripts, mental calisthenics gotta be strong. That daily bread, I gotta get it, homie, I can't pause. Found success not in the industry, but keeping these
laws. Better late than never. No more getting at these hoes, no more chasing cheddar. Thought I'd be known before my 30s, some shit take forever. Dollar bills, but got that manner, I could change the weather.
Hey T, forget about these clowns, man.
I took the road, less travel, better late than never.
Look, it's a thin line between faith and folly. People say they keep it real, but I keep it godly. Shout out my squad, they forever solid. Been through ups and downs and they never change, so I know they got me. Them hard times getting harder, 24 years old and making room for my daughter. Showing her the lessons I acquired from time and teach her how to keep it G when the friends start to fall.
to receive the word of the Most High.
Revelation 2:9. Tell them.
Yeah, all my brothers, yeah, we rich shock. We got the truth, we come from rich stock. That's on my tribe, I never flip-flop. Thy kingdom come to watch it TikTok. We got this truth and now we rich up. We headed back up to the tip top. Menorah gold and watch it drip drop. We in the hood, but now we rich up. Yeah.
My folks stayed in the Hoovers. I was born in the trades. I was raised in the hundreds, but I ain't never joined the gang. Affiliated, I was with it. I ain't played no games. Wasn't banging, but I had to show I ain't no lame. Copperworth Entertainment, yeah, I did my thing until I woke up to this truth and found out we still slaves. Niggas killing over colors. Time to rise up for our brothers. Time to unify our hustles. Time to lead our baby mothers out there lay like Nazareth. I was raised about the gutter. For the homies, I got locked up. Not a word I never uttered. So for Yasharahla, yeah, you best believe I'll die. This ain't Christianity, you best believe I'll ride.
Brothers, yeah, we rich shock. We got the truth, we come from rich stock. That's on my tribe, I never flip-flop. Thy kingdom come to watch it TikTok. We got this truth and now we rich up. We headed back up to the tip top.
We rich.
Menorah gold and watch it drip drop. We in the hood, but now we rich up. Yeah.
Reclining my seats, I'm looking at the stars. Not too long ago was blowing kush about the car. Always wanted fame until I found the 12 stars. But now a nigga rich, the wisdom got me hella far. Looking back on my life, this shit is so surreal. Like I came up on a lotto, how a nigga feel. Keep the law as the motto, now tell me what's the deal. Riding smooth, diamond chain, compliment the wheels. Yeah, that's how we pull up fly. If my brothers got an issue, then I bet I ride. Even if I take a loss, you can bet I try. Cause I'ma get a couple off, and that's before
yeah,
I
all
die.
My brothers, yeah, we rich shock. We got the truth, we come from rich stock. That's on my tribe, I never flip-flop. Thy kingdom come to watch it TikTok. We got this truth and now we rich up. We headed back up to the tip top. Menorah gold and watch it drip drop. We in the hood, but now we rich up. Yeah.
It's so cold in these streets, I take the heat outside. I keep a sword like Cephas, just believe I might. Ain't an army on this earth that could see these tribes. Dressed in warlike apparel, best believe we fly. It's time to get the doctrine right, it's time to feed these sheep. What we sowing to each other, that's what we gon' reap. Shit, you niggas claim you bout that life. Some niggas banging for the set, but I'm an Israelite. He full of pride and full of shit, then I'ma cut him on sight. IQ ain't never gotta tell me twice. I'm a soldier for Christ, and Mashiach the king is not to be mocked. I love my nation, but 2/3 of y'all can still get popped. Blah.
Tazayawan, Ariala. Yashamai. Yasharahla.
At Men's Warehouse, we're here to help you.
Doing? Well, it's a good day. It's a Shabbat, and we got a new member. Oh, our dear sister right here, stand up for him. Our beautiful dear sister Nancy right here, she officially with us. And all praise be to the Most High. That's a beautiful thing right there. I know the family smiling from ear to ear. Your baby, he happy, so happy. So all praise be to the Most High. It's a beautiful thing. Love that. Good to see you again. Yep. Everybody, what's up, Hot? Yeah. It's on. We all up in here. Y'all ready to get it in?
All right, let's get it. Let's get it. All right. The title of this afternoon's lesson is the 7-day Sabbath. But if I'm going to be honest, covering the Sabbath, you can make it concise, but you can also be pretty thorough with the 7-day Sabbath. And kind of got a call from one of my dear brothers and was urging me to more so, which was already on my mind, but I wasn't necessarily going to, go into, as deep of it's not the deepest, but a more thorough breakdown. So I'm going to pretty much more so deal with the fact that the Sabbath day is, or the 7-day Sabbath is a weekly thing. It is not something that only occurs once a month, all right? And it is not governed by the moon, all right? It's not governed by the moon. It is not governed by a lunar calendar, all right? Because, there are a lot of Israelites who subscribe to a lunar calendar. And that lunar calendar looks different from person to person and camp to camp, all right? So it's a lot of different things that can be addressed. But I'm going to try to, for the most part, thoroughly address it overall. All right, y'all with me? So let's get into it. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to get everything. It's, it is what it is. Let's first go to y'all want to hop straight into it? Let's hop straight into it. Let's go to the book of Luke. Luke chapter 22. We're going to read verse 1, and then we're going to drop down to verse 7. And again, this is in response to those that follow what they call a lunar calendar, and they keep a lunar Sabbath, all right? Luke chapter 22, and let's get verse 1, and then we'll drop down to verse 7.
Luke chapter 22 and verse 1. Now the feast of unleavened bread drew nigh, which is called the Passover.
Now you're probably saying, what does this have to do with a Sabbath or the 7-day Sabbath, right? Here's the thing. It has a whole lot to do with the 7-day Sabbath, because what's going to happen is, through all of this, is going to prove that there's really no way for a lunar Sabbath to work. All right? Read it one more time.
Now the feast of unleavened bread drew nigh, which is called the Passover.
Now, and I mean no disrespect, but I kind of want to just call a spade a spade. Is that okay? Here's the thing. You have Israelites that believe that Passover is not the same as the first day of unleavened bread. Did y'all know that? Raise your hand if you knew that. Okay, quite a few of y'all. So read it one more time.
Now the feast of unleavened bread drew nigh, which is called the Passover.
It's called the Passover. Feast of unleavened bread is also one and the same as the Passover. All right, we got that. Drop down to verse 7.
Then came the day of unleavened bread, when the Passover must be killed.
The day of unleavened bread, which is referring to the first day of unleavened bread, it says that the Passover, meaning the what? The lamb must be what?
Killed.
Killed. right? So the Bible gets even more specific. It tells you the 14th day at even, meaning at the very end of the 14th day going into the 15th day, all right? Really specific. Go to the book of Matthew, chapter 26. Let's get 26 and 17.
Matthew chapter 26, verse 17. Now the first day of the feast of unleavened bread.
So what we dealing with? First day of what? The feast of unleavened bread. Go ahead.
The disciples came to Yahushua saying unto him, where wilt thou that we prepare for thee to eat the Passover?
Where would you have us to go to prepare to eat the Passover, meaning the lamb? Where would you have us to go and do this? All right. This is on the first day of unleavened bread. Go from there. Get Mark chapter 14. And let's get 1 and 2, and then we're going to drop down to verse 12.
Mark chapter 14, verse 1. After 2 days was the feast of Passover. And of the unleavened bread.
So you keep getting the same account. Passover and unleavened bread, the first day of unleavened bread, are one and the same. Go ahead.
And the chief priests and the scribes saw how they might take him by craft and put him to death.
Put who to death? Yahushua. Because that's another thing that's foggy. A lot of people don't really understand. They're trying to figure it out. They think one thing, but the Bible says this. He was to be put to death on the Passover, on the first day of unleavened bread. All right? Read.
But they said, not on the feast day.
Not on the feast day. So now, what are they talking about? Are they saying that they're not going to do it on the first day of unleavened bread and instead do it on the second day? No. What they're saying is not during the time when they're actually feasting. And you'll see that in a minute. All right? Read.
Lest there be an uproar of the people.
Drop down to verse 12.
And the first day of unleavened bread, when they killed the Passover.
They killed the Passover on the first day of unleavened bread. Read.
His disciples said unto him, where wilt thou that we go and prepare that thou mayest eat the Passover?
Because they were going to eat the Passover on the first day of unleavened bread. Mind you, if I really want to go even deeper, the Passover is not just talking about the actual lamb that they would slaughter, but it's more specifically talking about who? Yahushua himself. That's why the scripture says that these things were a shadow of things to come. This was a shadow. This is something that the children of Israel for centuries practiced so that they would get themselves spiritually ready through the physical enactment, rehearsal of killing this lamb. And it was symbolic of what the actual thing would be, which was him actually being slaughtered on that very same day. All right? Get the book of Matthew 26. And I want 1 and 2. I know this might seem a bit tedious, but we got to do it.
Matthew chapter 26, verse 1. And it came to pass, when Yahushua had finished all the sayings, he said unto his disciples, ye know that after 2 days is the feast of Passover, and the Son of Man is betrayed to be crucified.
So now out of his own mouth, he's telling them what? He's going to be crucified on what day? On Passover. So nobody think that I'm kind of doing one of these and I'm putting a woo-wop on anybody. Everybody can see scripture for scripture that this is what it's saying. I'm not twisting it. All right? Go from there. Book of John, chapter 18. John 18, and I want 38 through 40. Yep, 18 and 38.
The book of John, chapter 18, verse 38. Pilate saith unto him, What is truth? And when he had said this, he went out again unto the Jews, and saith unto them, I find in him no fault at all.
And he was referencing Yahushua, because they were trying to get him killed. They wanted Yahushua to be delivered up to the Romans, and for the Romans to kill him via crucifixion. All right? There's actually paperwork that literally exists, and what they sentenced him with is called sedition. There's literal paperwork that exists. He was charged with sedition. All right? Now watch this. Pilate, above that, he said, look, I don't feel right about this. As far as I know, this man ain't did nothing. Y'all sure y'all want to do this? So right here, Pilate is yet saying again, I don't find any fault at all in this man. Go ahead.
But ye have a custom.
But the Jews, the Israelites, he said, y'all got a custom. Read.
That I should release unto you one at the Passover.
The custom was somebody gets to go free at Passover. Somebody who's jailed, who's facing trial and possibly facing a death sentence, gets to go free and gets another opportunity at Passover. Go ahead.
Will ye therefore that I release unto you the King of the Jews?
The King of the Jews in reference to who? The one that they was mocking, Yahushua. He said, do y'all want me, since y'all release one person, y'all want me to go ahead and release him? You want me to release Yahushua? Now let's see what the people said.
Then cried they all again, saying,
because some of y'all, you get butthurt, you get in your feelings when you find out other Israelites that wear fringes just like you, that wrap their heads just like y'all, that wear skirts and dresses just like you, and wear beards just like you, don't like you. And you get all in your feelings. Real talk, right? We be like, oh. And it's not one of us, because somebody might have took that and been like, you talking to me. I'm talking to a whole lot of us with everything even that we went through as an organization. It's tough. But watch this, read.
Not this man.
What? What they say?
Not this man.
But who?
But Barabbas.
Don't let Yahushua go, but let Barabbas go. And Barabbas was what? Go ahead.
Now Barabbas was a robber.
Now he was a known robber. That's what they said. He was crucified on the day of Passover. Go from there. All praise be to the Heavenly Father. Daniel chapter 9 and verse 27. All praise be to Yahweh. Watch this. Daniel chapter 9 and verse 27. This is prophecy right here. Read.
The book of Daniel, chapter 9, verse 27. And he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week.
This is talking about Yahushua. Read.
And in the midst of the week.
And in the what?
In the midst of the week.
Now that's an indication of what day that he would actually be crucified on. The day that is in the midst of the week. So now in the bootleg church, they told us that he what? He died on a Good Friday. I don't know what's so good about a Friday that he died. Thankful, but I don't know what's good about it. He died on a Good Friday, late on a Good Friday, and then he rose on what? Good old Sunday morning. Bacon sizzling on the skillet. That's the morning that he rose up on. and you just do the math and you say, hold on, let me count. Do that add up? We're going to figure it out if it add up. But it says the midst of the week. What day is the midst of the week? Let's see, hold on. You got Sunday being the first day of the week. Unless somebody try to pull the wool over your head and they try to pull out one of their new calendars. See, Monday is the first day of the week. Come on, knock it off. Sunday is the first day of the week. It's been the first day of the week. It's still the first day of the week, right? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. 7 days. So if I take this Sunday, Saturday, Monday, Friday, I got 3 left. Yes, sir. Tuesday and Thursday. You thought I was going to be the other one. No, it ain't. What day I got left in the middle? Wednesday. I got Wednesday. The midst of the week. Go ahead.
And in the midst of the week, he shall cause the sacrifice and the oblation to cease.
He shall cause the sacrifice and the oblation to cease, meaning what? The services of the sons of Aaron would no longer be needed because he would take his rightful place as the high priest again after the order of Melchizedek, which is Malach Tazadak, which was him way back during the time where Abraham was bringing his tithes. He said, I'm back. The midst of the week. Hold that real quick. Well, you can let that go. Go to Matthew chapter 12. Yep. Matthew chapter 12 and verse 40.
The book of Matthew chapter 12, verse 40. For as Jonas was 3 days and 3 nights in the whale's belly.
So now, he didn't just say 3 days, because he could have just said 3 days. Right, 3 days. But he specifically said 3 days and 3 nights, which indicates something specifically, something that we need to pay attention to. All right? 3 days and 3 nights means what? 3 complete days. There you go. Which is a total, go ahead, you get the mic, which is a total of how many hours?
72.
72 hours. And some people, they get all misconstrued. Our people get discombobulated. There's a lot of things that flow through their mind. They say, how in the world, what do we mean? They didn't have time like that. No, yes, they did. Doesn't matter how they counted the hours. We have a thing called fixed time. But there was still a 24-hour period, so to speak. Go ahead, Ike.
If he said he was in there for 3 days without saying 3 days and 3 nights, wouldn't we still understand that it was 3 days? Or
some folks wouldn't. Some folks wouldn't. And that's even why is that much more beautiful that he specified 3 days and 3 nights, which means 3 complete days. 3 complete days. Because I'll give you an example. Say a woman starts her cycle. She starts her cycle somewhere in the midst of the day, right? I'll give you a better one to make it more simple because I don't want to confuse anybody because that's a 7-day cycle, right? Give you something even simpler. A person, period, ends up, I don't know, having relations, right? You know what that means, right? They have relations in the midst of the day. They wash themselves before sundown, and once the sun is completely down, is completely even, then the Bible says that they're what? They didn't have to wait until the exact time that they had relations the day before. No. So you have some situations that are like that. He said, I want to make sure I specify, I'm saying 3 complete, whatever time that he passed, literally 3 complete cycles, that same time is when he's going to resurrect. So it's funny because they'll tell you that Good Friday afternoon, before the sun went down, he died. But he rose up on Sunday morning. That couldn't be. Couldn't be. Not only that, watch this real quick. Go ahead, read it one more time from the top.
Matthew 12, verse 40. For as Jonas was 3 days and 3 nights in the whale's belly.
3 days and 3 nights, 3 complete days, read.
So shall the Son of Man be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth.
In the heart of the earth, meaning buried. 3 days and 3 nights. Here's the thing. Good Friday to Sunday morning is how many days? That's the cold part. It ain't even 2. Thank you. Approximately a day and a half. What's going on, Doc? How you doing? Here's the thing. Friday evening, before the sun goes down and it turns to Saturday. All right, Friday evening. Friday evening to Saturday evening is what? 1 complete day cycle. Right? Now, we're already at Saturday evening before it turns Sunday. Now, we're talking about Sunday morning. That's what? A half a day. It's a day and a half. How they pull that off? You can't pull that one off. The thing was, he died on what day? On a Wednesday in the midst of the week. Late Wednesday before it got dark, before sundown. When it would officially be what? Thursday. He passed away earlier in the afternoon. And literally they hasted and buried him before the sun went down on Wednesday, which was still what day? The Passover. Now, let's do the math. Wednesday, late afternoon, to Thursday, late afternoon is what? 1 day. Thursday to Friday, late afternoon is Friday to Saturday, late afternoon is what? 3 complete days. That's when he rose. 3 days. Now, some people, I want to address a few things, and I'm going to try to get to everything, but check this out. Go ahead. You got a question? Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I need clarity on that 14th day at even.
Absolutely.
Because when I'm looking at it, like, well, what is the 14th day when the sun is down? Because the 14th day at even, wouldn't that be like the 13th day? Once the sun go down, that would be the 14th day at even, right?
The reason why the Bible is specific and it says the 14th day at even, and in some places it'll tell you the 15th day, right? And that's where people get confused. Here's the thing. The reason why it says 14th day at even, because literally there's a process of what you're supposed to do concerning the Passover, meaning the lamb, right? Okay. You're supposed to purchase that lamb by the 10th day. Okay. You're supposed to keep that lamb those days all the way up until the 14th day, late in the 14th day, before you go into the 15th day. Literally, you're supposed to take that time to do what? That's when you kill the Passover, right as the sun is going down into the 15th day. So that's why they specified a 14th day at even.
All right, because I'm just trying to. I need to see. I guess I want to see it on the calendar because when I see because the day starts first at even. So when I hear 14th day at even, like can it be worded the 14th at even? Like why? Is it the same thing as the 14th day at even?
The reason why, and I'm going to get into it because I got some more scriptures. I'm going to get into it for you. No, that's all good. I'm glad you're asking questions. The reason why is worded like that is because it's letting you know that prior to the very moment when it turns into the 15th day, there's already we should already be engaged in dealing with the Passover and killing the Passover, which is the lamb. Go ahead.
So going into the 15th day, wouldn't that be the sunlight would be out first, right? And then
so
going into the 15th
here's
day
another
would be
thing,
at
which
even, right?
which I'm gonna get for you in a little bit. I just didn't want to jump the gun.
Okay.
At even, right? Specifies at even, right? Can mean not just at that point going into the 15th day, but also dealing with prior to that, right around that time.
Okay.
So it's not like every time you see even, it's always specifically after that very moment when the day turns.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. But I'm gonna get into it for you. Nah, no problem. Good questions, all right? Good questions. If you want to, but which one you talking about? We don't need to go there. Not yet. So something I want to deal with, because another thing that people wanted to know was like, okay, well, where do you see the word Saturday in the Bible? You don't see the word Saturday in the Bible. Yeah, you don't see Saturday in the Bible. I mean, some people say that. But just a little tidbit in regards to Saturday. The word Saturday means Saturn's day, or the day of Saturn, all right? Saturn was a Roman god. He's one and the same as the Greek god Cronus, right? This Greek god is known to be kind of like the father of some of the main gods, Jupiter being like the top god. Jupiter is one and the same as Zeus, all right? So all of these Greek gods literally took on different names, but for the most part were the same exact gods, all right? So it was some various different things concerning Saturn. Saturn happens to be the sixth planet, but when you include the sun, which they gave the sun the first day, right? 6 down the line, which would be the seventh thing, would be Saturn, right? So all of these things that they did to pay homage to Cronus or Saturn or Saturnus, all right? And it's a lot that goes along with that as well. It's a lot of disrespect. Saturn is also known as the god of time, the god of wealth, the god of agriculture, all of these various different things. Saturn, one of the biggest things that they ascribed to Saturn was a feast that they called Saturnalia, which was originally a 7-day feast, and then, they changed things, but some people continued to keep it as 7th, and it warped into what you now call Christmas, which is still held as the holiday of all holidays. So they gave him the best day, him being the father. They gave him the best day of the week, as well as they gave him the biggest folly day that they could give him. Yep. They call him the granddaddy of gods. There's a lot to go into that. But, some of these Greek as well as some of these Roman names are mentioned in the Bible. Saturn happens to be one by name that is not mentioned, but we know obviously that they were very much so alive in regards to the people saying that these were the gods that they were actually observing, worshiping, so on and so forth. All right? And you have not only the planets, but also the days of the week. And depending on what language you speak, they would choose not only those specific gods that were originally Roman gods that were subscribed to the various different days a week, but then it took on some of the other, through time, like the Norse gods, Germanic, things like that, the different names that they would name these different gods. And you got now in English the days that we say. So a few of them are still the same, and then a few of them are not necessarily Roman gods, but these are names from other cultures. All right? Now, I got a couple of things I just want to read real quick, because some people might ask, and they say, well, you know what? How can you prove that the Israelites actually kept the Sabbath on what we call Saturday or Saturn's day? And I do have references. Unfortunately, we have technical issues, so we don't have the ability to put them up as of right now. Well, I don't. I got them on my phone, so I'll read them to you. You can go. You can either write down and go and look for them for yourself, or if you're here, you can ask me personally, and then we'll figure it out. So there were a number of different situations where it was specified that the day that we now call Saturday, which is Saturn's day, is one and the same as the Sabbath. All right. Dio Cassius, Roman history. Here's a reference right here. And it says, as it was, they made an exception of what are called the days of Saturn. And by doing no work at all on those days, afforded the Romans an opportunity in this interval to batter down the wall. And this is talking about the Israelites. In this text, this is a description of the situation that led Rome to take over Israel. All right. So that's one reference right there. And that was the Roman historian by the name of Cassius Dio. All right. And in this, it explains the capture of Jerusalem in 63 BC. All right. Here's another one. On the day of Saturn. All right. It says the divine Augustus Vespasian attacked the Jews on the day of Saturn, on which it is forbidden for them to do anything serious and prevail. All right. Now we read about this similar history in the Maccabees. Nothing's changed. All right. And that right there came from, I think that was Josephus. And this right here is another reference. You can actually look at the word Sabbath, and it gives you, references, to it being one and the same as Saturn's day. So I know somebody asked me for those specific. I just kind of wanted to touch on those. You can also go to Google Translate, put in the word Saturday, see what it gives you in the Greek, and it gives you Sabbato, and it does that for a number of different languages. All right. Then there's those, and I'm kind of touching on these things real quick because there's more things that I really want to deal with. All right. Some people try to go to the point of when the Julian calendar was changed to the Gregorian calendar. All right. And they bring up the fact that there were a number of days that were kind of just like done away with. They just disappeared. All right. Skip from like the second all the way to like the 14th day. That happened. But it did not affect the days of the week. It never affected the days of the week. Let me show you something real quick. Go to the book of Genesis. Matter of fact, don't even go to Genesis. Go to, let's get Leviticus. Yeah, they try to blame it on all type of stuff. They try to blame it on Constantine. You can't blame it on nobody. The day is still the same. It's still the same day. And let's see how the Most High set it up. Leviticus chapter 23. Bless you. And I mean this in no disrespect. If there's somebody that's really confused and they really don't know better or the difference, that are earnestly trying to keep these commandments, then I'm not sitting up here trying to bash you. But there are those that are teaching that should be versed enough in Scripture, right? Here's the thing. Let's read this verse before I say that. Leviticus chapter 23. Start at verse 1.
Leviticus chapter 23, verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them concerning the feast of the Lord, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations, even these are my feasts.
So he's going to specify the feast, holy convocations. I'm going to go ahead and say it. Here's the thing. There are a lot of people in the Israelite community who take the opportunity to celebrate a lunar Sabbath and to subscribe to a lunar Sabbath And it seems as if they do it because it allows them to work on the Sabbath. It allows them to do what they want on the Sabbath. The majority of the people I know that say that they keep the lunar Sabbath, and I know I might catch some flack for this, but it is what it is. This is by my experience. The majority of the people that I know that have specified how they keep a lunar Sabbath, and those that come up out of a situation that talk about them keeping a lunar Sabbath for however many years, will tell you that they were never diligent in keeping the Sabbath. It's like it's an excuse to say, oh, I no longer have to be vexed by not being able to work and hustle on the Sabbath. I'm free. Because when they got this lunar Sabbath, depending on whose doctrine you're dealing with, everybody's keeping it all over the place. And some folks, which I'm going to definitely go into because this is one of the things I was asked to really go into, some people even go as far as to say it's not even a weekly Sabbath. It's only on the 7th day of a month, meaning 7 days after the new moon hits, you got a Sabbath, and then after that, you ain't got no more Sabbaths for the rest of the month. How convenient. I don't mean to disrespect if you honestly believe that and you earnestly keeping that one Sabbath and don't know no better. I'm here to bring some clarity. But for some of y'all that know better and you've been teaching, boy, you're going to burn in hell if you don't change and repent. You telling me you getting away with one Sabbath out of the month? It's real, though. Go ahead and read.
6 days shall work be done.
6 days shall work be done.
But the 7th day is the Sabbath of rest.
The 7th day is the Sabbath of rest. The 7th day is the Sabbath of rest. So the thing about the Sabbath, literally the Sabbath, Shabbat, means what? Rest. Right? Go ahead.
And a holy convocation, ye shall do no work therein. It is the Sabbath of the Lord. In all your dwellings.
In all your dwellings. Go ahead.
These are the feasts of the Lord.
So now, it specified the Sabbath and it separated that and it gave us that first. Now it's giving us other feasts. Why is it giving us these other feasts? Because these other feasts are actually determined differently. Now, people are saying that, oh, the Sabbath should be predicated solely upon the moon cycle. But here's the thing. The Sabbath was ordained what day? Hold on real quick. Just to remind you, go to the book of Genesis real quick. Go to the book of Genesis real quick. Chapter 2. We can start at verse 1.
Genesis chapter 2, verse 1. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And on the 7th day, the Most High ended his work, which he had made.
On what day?
On the 7th day.
On the 7th day. I just want that. I might come back to it. I might not. On the 7th day. But go to Genesis chapter 1. Let's see when the moon was created. Yep.
Genesis chapter 1, verse 14. And the Most High said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years.
So now, he's giving us some specifics. He said, these lights that I'm putting in the sky, they're specifically so that you can gauge and determine when the seasons and the various appointed times should be. Read.
And let them be for lights in the firmament of heaven.
Which is, the firmament is talking about what? It's talking about the atmosphere. Go ahead.
To give light upon the earth, and it was so.
It was so. Read.
And the Most High made two great lights.
Two great lights, and what is that talking about?
The greater light.
The sun and the moon. Sun and the moon. You can get that in the book of... You'll know what season you're in based upon the constellations that are in the sky. It don't just mean that you Scorpio and you nasty. The stars was actually put up there for a specific reason. Go ahead.
He made the stars also, and the Most High set them in the firmament of heaven to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was so.
Now watch this, read.
And the evening and the morning were the fourth day.
What day was the moon created? So how in the world is the 7-day Sabbath governed by the moon? Doesn't make sense at all. He never said that. And I can go on and on, but let's get back on course. Go back. Let's go to the book of Leviticus 23. Let's go back there. Leviticus 23, yeah, we can pick off where we left off. Pick up where we left off.
Leviticus 23 and verse 4. These are the feasts of the Lord, even holy convocations, which ye shall proclaim in their seasons.
In their seasons. Didn't we just read that? Now, below this, he's going to specify all the other feasts which you need to keep according to their seasons, which is in accordance to what? Not only the moon, but also according to the sun. Because there's this thing with the sun that kind of happens, and it's kind of the reason why we have different seasons. The sun may be right here in one season, and then it's like kind of over to the side. Like, what happens to make it do that? And I know, and that's a whole nother story in itself. We got a whole lot of flat earthers. I won't even go into that. But the sun does this funny thing where, you know, when you actually observe the sun and you actually observe the moon, like the sun in one season to be kind of like more so right up. And then you go to a different season and it's kind of like over to the side, like you ain't getting that same direct hit. Right? It's funny because, you know, right now for us, what season is this? It's actually still winter. But guess what? When you go below the equator, guess what it is for them? It's summertime. Summertime for them. It's the opposite. Why? Because the sun is what? It's south of the equator. That's what makes it colder for us because we're further away from the sun, and it makes it hotter for those that the sun is hitting directly. It's getting ready to change, though. It's simple. Most High made this stuff simple. Our forefathers understood it. You got a whole lot of Israelites now, they want to remix. Make things way more difficult than what they have to be when it's really, really simple, right? So now, he said not only the moon, but he also said the sun is utilized to determine these days. And guess what else? The stars as well. Go ahead and read.
Verse 5. In the 14th day of the first month at even.
At even, go ahead.
Is the Lord's Passover.
In the 14th day of the first month at even is the Lord's Passover. Right? Go ahead.
And on the 15th day of the same month is the feast of unleavened bread unto the Lord.
So now, hold on, real simple. That's why I went through how many references did we read earlier that said what? The Passover and the first day of unleavened bread is what? They literally said that, right? So now when we read this, read it one more time, verse 6.
And on the 15th day of the same month is the feast of unleavened bread.
This is the same day. The reason why it specifies the 14th day at even is literally because it's telling you that there's going to be a process that you have to begin even before the sun completely goes down, which is the dealing with and the slaughtering of the lamb. And it's even more to it. We'll get there in a minute. Go ahead.
7 days ye must eat unleavened bread. The first day ye shall have an holy convocation.
In the first day ye shall have a holy convocation. The first day meaning the first day, which is Passover, and one and the same as unleavened bread. It says the first and the seventh day, which I'm kind of jumping the gun. Both of those are holy convocations. Read.
Ye shall do no servile work therein.
Go ahead.
But ye shall offer an offering made by fire. Salakia. You shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord 7 days. And the seventh day is a holy convocation.
So he said not only the first, but in the seventh day, you also have a holy convocation. Go ahead.
Ye shall do no servile work therein.
Ye shall do no servile work. Go from there. Go to the book of Mark, chapter 15. Just keep following me. Mark chapter 15, and I want 42. And we're going to read 42 through 46. Go ahead.
The book of Mark, chapter 15, verse 42. And now when the even was come, because it was the preparation, that is the day before the Sabbath.
So now you'll read this, and a lot of people get it all like, oh, that blew my mind. Like, oh, what does this mean? And now when the even was come, because it was the preparation, that is the day before the Sabbath. So people take this as what? Okay. Seems like there's some confusion here. Huh? The day before every Sabbath? What exactly is the preparation referring to? See, that's where a lot of us get misconstrued. I'm going to make it clear to you through scripture, though. I'm glad everybody said what they said. Keep that in mind. Got all these different answers. The day before the Sabbath. Does it really literally mean the day before the Sabbath? And what Sabbath does it mean? Or does it literally not necessarily mean one exact day, but it means a little bit of time or some time before the Sabbath? We'll find out. Go ahead.
Verse 43, Joseph of Arimathea, an honorable counselor, which also waited for the kingdom of the Most High, came and went in boldly unto Pilate and craved the body of Yahushua.
He wanted to get the body of Yahushua. This was still taking place on the Passover, all right? This was late Wednesday, to make it clear. All right, read.
And Pilate marveled if he were already dead. And calling unto him the centurion, he asked him whether he had been any while dead.
Because he had just died. Read.
And when he knew it of the centurion, he gave the body to Joseph.
So he marveled because what they customarily would do, they would leave a man hanging up there for quite some time. And guess what was set in? Rigor mortis. And it was also customary for them to break the legs of the person that was being crucified. And he was able to get him down fresh with his legs unbroken, because that was also a prophecy that none of his bones would be broken. Go ahead. So that's why it said he marveled. Read.
And he bought fine linen and took him down and wrapped him in the linen and laid him in a sepulchre which was hewn out of a rock, and rolled a stone unto the door of the sepulchre.
So that's all I needed. Watch this real quick. We're going to go precept upon precept. Luke chapter 23. And we're going to start at verse 50.
The book of Luke chapter 23, verse 50. And behold, there was a man named Joseph, a counselor, and he was a good man and a just.
And just. Go ahead.
The same had not consented to the counsel and deed of them. He was of Arimathea, a city of the Jews, who also himself waited for the kingdom of the Most High.
Go ahead.
This man went unto Pilate and begged the body of Yahushua.
Go ahead.
And he took it down and wrapped it in linen, and it laid in a sepulchre that was hewn in stone, wherein never man was laid before.
So nobody had ever been laid in that particular sepulchre. All right, technically the sepulchre was still clean. it hadn't been made unclean with another dead body. Read.
And that day was the preparation.
That day was the preparation. That day was the preparation. People get confused because just like my brother, and we were taught that the preparation is the 6th day. It's in reference to the 6th day. It says, and that day was the preparation, and read.
And the Sabbath drew on.
So the Sabbath drew on, meaning the Sabbath was coming soon. But now, let me ask you a question. When is Passover again? The 14th day of even, the beginning of the 15th day. Okay. All right. And that's a Sabbath. Right? Now, if I was following a lunar calendar, right? Don't matter what day of the week, but my first day would be a new moon. So I count because my 7th day, according to what they believe, would be my 7th-day Sabbath. So I would go 1, new moon, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Sabbath. It's day 7 regardless. 7-day Sabbath. All right. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Now, it depends on what lunar calendar doctrine that you follow, because some of them believe every week. So it'd be 7, 14, 21, 28. Now, the Bible also says, which I ain't even go there, it says that when you do the math, it's 30 days in a month. So if you got 4 Sabbaths, 28 days, what happens to the extra 2 days, the 29th and the 30th day? It's only certain individuals that are bold enough to bring this stuff and say it in public. Because some of the main ones that really believe this stuff, it's like almost like a cult situation. They believe it, but they don't never really push it out there. They'll push it on people that they feel that they could get away with it with. And you ain't getting away with that around here. That's right. That's right. So by the time, all praise be to the Most High, you pretty foolish to bring that stuff up to certain people. Pretty foolish. So when you get somebody that got the audacity to try to hit you with that, what they're telling you is they don't think that you're that versed and that smart. And you'll probably fall for it. Because they can never tell you what happens to the extra 2 days. Now let's rewind that back. Say if it is a situation where it's just the 7th day. And then after that, you have no more Sabbath days, because he didn't say the 14th day is the Sabbath and the 21st. It's nowhere in the Bible. Only the 7th day. So now, by the time you get to the 14th, 15th day, right? Either way, the Bible says that Passover, and even let's say for the sake, even though we got to understanding that it really means the 15th day, but we just start the process before the 15th day comes in at the latter part of the 14th day. We got to understand of that. But let's just say, hypothetically speaking, we didn't even know that. Because some people say, okay, 14th day Passover, 15th day, first day of unleavened bread. All right. So let's say they say, okay, well, that line up. There's a Sabbath on the 14th day, right? Aha, got you. Then how in the world do we got another Sabbath getting ready to come? What day is that going to fall on? Is that possible according to a lunar Sabbath? Read.
Verse 55. And the woman also, which came with him from Galilee, followed after, and beheld the sepulchre, and how his body was laid. And they returned and prepared spices and ointments and rested the Sabbath day according to the commandment.
So now, there was a Sabbath day that happened after that Sabbath day, and they rested. How? How is that possible, according to a lunar Sabbath? Okay, hold on. Go from there. Go to the book of Mark. Let's go back to Mark. 14 and 12.
The book of Mark, chapter 14, verse 12.
Mm-hmm.
And the first day of unleavened bread.
Oh, okay. The first day of unleavened bread. Read.
When they killed the Passover.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
His disciples said unto him, where wilt thou that we go and prepare, that thou mayest eat the Passover?
So now, there's a key word in there. I'm going to see who's up. Some of y'all about to give up the ghost. What's the key word in there? I knew you would say that. What's the key word in there? Huh? Kill? Keep on trying. Huh? What? Say it again. Oh. Prepare. Prepare. Preparation. Prepare. Preparation. Where wilt thou that we go and prepare that thou mayest eat the Passover? 2 Chronicles chapter 35. 35, I want 6 through 11. And then I want to drop down and just get number 16, verse 16. 35 and 6. Sir.
The book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 35, verse 6. So kill the Passover and sanctify yourselves and prepare your brethren.
What?
And prepare.
And what?
And prepare.
Go ahead.
And prepare your brethren that they may do according to the word of the Most High by the hand of Moses.
Go ahead.
And Josiah gave to the people of the flock, lambs and kids.
Josiah. You in the Bible, boy. Read it one more time.
And Josiah,
who was a king, read,
gave to the people of the flock lambs and kids.
Lambs and kids meaning what? Lambs and goats, read.
All for the Passover offerings.
Woo! Go ahead.
For all that were present, to the number of 30,000.
Who?
30,000.
Read.
And 3,000 bullocks.
Whoa. 30,000 sheep and goats. But he didn't just stop there. Then they also had what?
3,000 bullocks.
3,000 bullocks. You like beef? How many of y'all like beef? He said, I got some steaks. Some of y'all love them steaks. He said, I got some steak. Go ahead.
These were of the king's substance.
Now, that's just Josiah. Go ahead and read.
And his princes gave willingly unto the people, to the priests and to the Levites. Hilkiah and Zechariah and Jehiel, rulers of the house of the Most High, gave unto the priests for the Passover offerings 2,600.
Hold on. 2,600. That's 2,600 what?
Small cattle.
Wow. And how many ox?
And 300 oxen.
Wow. Go ahead and read.
Conaniah also, and Shemaiah, and Nethaneel, his brethren, and Hashabiah, and Jael, and Jozabad, chief of the Levites, gave unto the Levites for Passover offerings 5,000 small cattle and 500 oxen.
Wow, the number. Have y'all kept up? Did you do the math? How many we got so far? How many animals we got to slaughter so far? It was a nationwide feast. Read.
So the service was prepared, and the priests stood in their place, and the Levites in their courses, according to the king's commandment.
How many people and how much time do you think that it took for them to prepare? The day of preparation is one and the same as Passover. It's one and the same, and I'll show it to you because some of y'all might be like, I'll show it to you. It's one and the same. Because and for those of y'all that kind of think like the lamb just pop up, you need to take a trip with Kahan and Kanash and see the process of what we do for 1 or 2 lambs and how long it take. Go ahead.
And they killed the Passover, and the priests sprinkled the blood from their hands, and the Levites flayed them.
You see that? Flayed them meaning what? After they killed, how many people, how long do you think it took? How much manpower did they need to kill all of these animals? And then when it says they flayed them, y'all don't know nothing about the flaying process, right? You got to cut them, cut their skin off. Take their intestines and take their genitals off and leave everything else. Make sure, and that's why it was a little bit easier to make sure that you didn't break anything, because you can't break nothing. You break something, it ain't no good. You let that lamb or that goat sit long enough and rigor mortis starts setting in. But when you kill them fresh, guess what? He's still flexible. A lot of work happened on Passover, and it still happens on Passover. That's why he said, when you read it, because nobody talk about the 10th day getting it and all of that, and then the 14th day you getting ready. It's even a certain way that you're supposed to slaughter the animal. You can't just be like, all right, time is up. And you go chasing him around. No, you with the animal, you rubbing him, and it's all good. You make sure your knife extra. Y'all need to go with, drop down to verse 16.
Verse 16. So all the service of the Most High was prepared the same day.
All of this happened on what?
The same day.
The same day. That's the day of preparation. Go ahead.
To keep the Passover. And to offer burnt offerings upon the altar of the Most High. According to the commandment of King Josiah.
There you go. Watch this. Book of John, chapter 19. And I want 14, and then I want to drop down to 31. Yep, 19 and 14, and then give me 31.
John chapter 19, verse 14.
Now, if you didn't believe me and you thought I was stretching, let's see what it say.
And it was the preparation of the Passover.
Preparation of what?
Of the Passover.
Not the prep. It wasn't talking about the preparation of the 7-day Sabbath that was coming. It was talking about the past. So now you see how people get things all misconstrued. And they like, well, what is this? Well, this, and what? Because study to show thyself approved. It was the preparation of the Passover. Go ahead.
And about the 6th hour, and he said unto the Jews, behold, your king.
Drop down to 31.
The Jews, therefore, because it was the preparation that the body should...
Say it again, right? Go ahead.
That the body should not remain upon the cross on the Sabbath day, for that the Sabbath day was a high day.
Go ahead.
Besought Pilate that their legs might be broken and that they might be taken away.
So all of this happened. He was crucified. He died on the Sabbath day, and they was like, we got to get him off of there. He can't leave him here on the high day. He got to be taken down. All of this happened on the same day. He went to court, got charged with sedition, all on the same day. It was all later in the same day that they came and got him when he got the kiss from Judas. Peter chopped the dude's ear off. All of that happened in one day. But yet it was a Sabbath coming a couple of days later. How does that work? Go from there. Luke chapter 24, verse 1. Mm-hmm. Yep, Luke chapter 24. Verse 1 through 3.
Luke chapter 24, verse 1. Now upon the first day of the week.
Whoa, hold on. Now we got the first day of the week? Wait, hold on. Because if somebody talking about the Sabbath ain't governed by the week, and you only get, hold on. How another week start? Huh?
I don't know.
First day of the week, what?
Now on the first day of the week, very early in the morning.
Very early in the morning on what we call Sunday. Read.
They came unto the sepulchre, bringing the spices which they had prepared, and certain other with them.
Uh-huh.
And they found the stone rolled away from the sepulchre. And they entered in and found not the body of the Lord.
He was already gone. Now, I'm going to specify this. Early on the first day of the week. Early. So you thinking early Sunday morning. And you thinking about the sun shining. Mama cooking grits and pork bacon. You found out you got a run in your stockings. That's what you're thinking about. Looking for your church socks. You know, they always get displaced. Trying to match church socks that don't match. Ain't nobody going to see them anyway. So you go ahead and just put them on anyway. You try to put on them slacks and your mama say, hey, them ain't iron. You better iron them. That's what you thinking about. Sunday during the morning time when it's bright. But no. It was still dark. This is early. Early. He was already gone. Go to Matthew chapter 28. Let's get verse 1. Matthew 28 and verse 1.
Matthew chapter 28 and verse 1. In the end of the Sabbath.
People be, see? It say in the end. So what? People get all kind of stuff, all types of misconstrued. In the end of the Sabbath, when you go into it, literally, they got footnotes. You go into if you got a Bible app and they got a footnote, you go into your footnote and it'll tell you after the Sabbath was over. That's what that means. So after the Sabbath was over, as it began to dawn, and a lot of people get that misconstrued. Dawn, that means it's about to get dark. Or is it going to get light? No, dawn means it's about to get light. But you said it was about to get dark. People be all confused. We got a new day. Go ahead.
In the end of the Sabbath, as it began to dawn toward the first day of the week,
go ahead,
came Mary Magdalene and the other Mary to see the sepulchre.
Some people be so confused when they read this. They're confused. Go to Mark chapter 16. And let's start at verse 1, and then we're going to read down to 6.
Mark chapter 16, verse 1. And when the Sabbath was passed.
Now, it's telling you that the Sabbath was already passed. It was over. Wasn't a situation where it was still the Sabbath and we getting ready to come to the... No, the Sabbath was already over. Read.
And when the Sabbath was passed, Mary Magdalene and Mary, the mother of James, And Solomon had bought sweet spices that they might come and anoint him.
Go ahead.
And very early in the morning, the first day of the week.
See, people, they still thinking about mama and the bacon. It was night. It was dark. I know some of y'all still don't believe me, but, we'll see. Go ahead.
They came unto the sepulchre at the rising of the sun.
Oh, so now it's starting to make sense because they said dawn. So it was dark, but it was about to start having some light. The sun was coming up. Go ahead.
And they said among themselves, who shall roll us away the stone from the door of the sepulchre? And when they looked, they saw that the stone was rolled away, for it was very great. And entering into the sepulchre, they saw a young man sitting on the right side, clothed in a long white garment, and they were frightened. And he said unto them, be not affrighted. Ye seek Yahushua of Nazareth, which was crucified. He is risen. He is not here.
He is not what?
He is not here.
He ain't here. Go ahead.
Behold, the place where they laid him. But go your way, tell his disciples, and Peter that he goeth before you into Galilee. There ye shall see him.
I didn't even need 7. Now go to the book of John, chapter 20. Book of John, chapter 20, and let's get 1 and 2. This one is pretty descriptive.
John chapter 20, verse 1. The first day of the week cometh Mary Magdalene early, when it was yet dark.
When it was yet dark, meaning it was still dark, but it was about to be what? Dawn, sunlight. Go ahead.
Yet dark unto the sepulchre, and seeth the stone taken away from the sepulchre.
Go ahead.
Then she runneth and cometh to Simon Peter and to the other disciples, whom Yahushua loved, and saith unto them, they have taken away the Lord out of the sepulchre, and we know not where they have laid him.
So that's pretty clear, right? Pretty clear. With the lunar Sabbath, there's no way in the world we could have had this situation be. It's impossible. Can anybody naysay that and bring forth strong reasoning in Scripture? I know people get all bent out of shape. Oh, what you mean? Come talk to me. We'll do it. I done talk to the best of them. Scriptures say what they say. I'm not some great man because I'm here sitting up here reading and understanding that's been here before I was born. And all praise be to the Most High. I'm just telling you what thus saith the Lord and what the Scriptures say. All of Israel need to do that. Everybody that's in a situation that puts themselves in a place to teach, they need to make sure that they're saying what these Scriptures say. All praise be to the Heavenly Father. People get all bent out of shape and all the lunar Sabbath. I don't even get bent out of shape with stuff like that because it's so easily disproved. Well, so many people are turning to the lunar Sabbath. It is what it is. If they really want to know the truth, they'll come back. If you feel some type of way, you need to check your spirit. If the lunar Sabbath be so, you ought to be able to bring forth stronger reasoning. Period. Now let's go to this other part of things. Deuteronomy chapter 16. Deuteronomy 16, I want 8 through 10.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 16, verse 8. 6 days thou shalt eat unleavened bread.
6 days, right? Go ahead.
And on the 7th day shall be a solemn assembly to the Most High thy power.
Somebody will read that and be like, Siak, we only have to keep it 6 days. The Bible is like that sometimes. It's still there. It's just worded in a certain way. He said on 6 days you eat it. On the 7th day, that don't mean you stop eating it on the 7th day. You already read where you keep it for 7 days, over and over, right? Right? Go ahead.
And on the 7th day shall be a solemn assembly to the Most High thy power. Thou shalt do no work therein.
Verse 9.
7 weeks shalt thou number unto thee.
So now, hold on. 7 weeks. 7 weeks. Read it one more time.
7 weeks shalt thou number unto thee.
Uh-huh.
Begin to number the 7 weeks from such time as thou beginnest to put the sickle to the corn.
So now 7 weeks. We got to number 7 weeks. Begin to number the 7 weeks. 7 weeks. Okay. 7 weeks. I wonder what this is talking about. 7 weeks. Read. Verse 10.
And thou shalt keep the feast of weeks.
Hold on. There's a feast that's called the Feast of Weeks. Feast of Weeks? How many of y'all have ever heard of that? Some of y'all, Feast of Weeks. What is this Feast of Weeks? I mean, I'm just trying to figure it out. Like, how could we count 7 weeks? And what are we counting 7 weeks for? Well, they told us it's a feast called the Feast of Weeks. Read.
And thou shalt keep the Feast of Weeks unto Yahweh thy power with a tribute of a freewill offering of thine hand, which thou shalt give unto Yahweh thy power, according as Yahweh thy power hath blessed thee.
Okay, let's go to the book of Tobit, chapter 2 and verse 1. Feast of Weeks. 7 weeks.
The book of Tobit, chapter 2, verse 1. Now when I was come home again, and my wife Anna was restored unto me, with my son Tobias, in the feast of Pentecost.
The feast of who?
Pentecost.
Pentecost. Now, how many of y'all have heard of that feast? Okay, more of y'all heard of the Feast of Pentecost. Read.
Which is the holy feast of the 7 weeks.
Whoa, hold up. Pentecost is what?
Which is the holy feast of the 7 weeks.
It's the holy feast of 7 weeks.
So it's safe to say we got weekly Sabbaths, right?
No, don't go that far. I ain't read that yet. I didn't read that yet. You jump into conclusions, Ak. You don't say that in there.
But you got to count 7 weeks, Ak.
But I know, according to the moon, Ak. You don't need a Sabbath. Where it say that? Read.
There was a good dinner prepared me, in the which I sat down to eat.
Okay, go to Leviticus chapter 23. Oh, praise be to the Most High. Leviticus 23. And let's get 15. I just need 15 and 16.
Leviticus chapter 23, verse 15. And ye shall count unto you from the morrow after the Sabbath.
The morrow after the Sabbath is what? The day after the Sabbath. So you start counting from the day after the Sabbath, which technically is what we call Sunday. Watch this, read.
From the day that ye brought the sheaf of the wave offering, 7 Sabbaths.
Hold up.
Cut, bro.
Can you read that one more time, please?
From the top, Leviticus 23 and 15. No, we want 16, right?
Go ahead.
No, we want 15.
Yep.
And ye shall count unto you from the morrow after the Sabbath.
After the Sabbath.
From the day ye brought the sheaf of the wave offering, 7 Sabbaths shall ye complete.
7 Sabbaths
shall be complete.
Shall be complete. Now let's just say, if there's only the 7th day after the new moon, that's the only Sabbath, according to some people. So if I was to count 7 Sabbaths, how much time would that be? Exactly. Exactly. If I count it like that and it's only 7th day, then I got what? How many? 7 months. Now, some people tell you, yep, 7 months. Okay, 7 months. All right, 7 months. All right. Maybe you're right. Maybe I'll just go along with what you say and humble myself and duck my head. And let's read.
Verse 16. Even unto the morrow after the 7th Sabbath.
Hold up. Why would he specify again the morrow, meaning the day after, but he didn't just say the Sabbath, but he said the what?
The 7th Sabbath.
The 7th Sabbath. How in the world you get a 7th Sabbath when you got the Passover that starts on the 14th, 15th day? It lasts for 7 days. We ain't even out the month yet. But you got a 7th Sabbath? Hold on, maybe I'm reading this wrong. Go ahead and read it one more time.
Verse 16. Even unto the morrow after the 7th Sabbath shall ye number 50 days.
Oh! Did you know that Pentecost mean 50? 50 days.
50 days.
So hold on, wait. Oh, I get it now. So if you got Sabbath, right? And it said count how many Sabbaths?
7.
Okay, and if I'm just saying, just thinking like this, maybe let's say it's 7 days in a week, right?
Absolutely.
If it's 7 days in a week, right? Okay, I got you in a second. 7 days in a week, I'm counting 7 Sabbaths. It's safe to say, because you know what multiplication is, right?
God.
Multiplication is just group addition. So if I got 7 times 7, what's 7 times 7, son? Yeah. Say it loud. 49. But right here it says, even unto the morrow after the 7th Sabbath. So once you count 7 Sabbaths, you count one more day. What's 49 plus 1? But you got to use the 7-day Sabbath. Now, if we only got one Sabbath in the month, technically that's 7 months plus a day. Would that be 50 days? I mean, it's simple math. So let's say if I did, let me check it a different way. If I did keep a lunar Sabbath and I did keep, 14 or 15th day, I'm going to get to you in just a second. And I had a situation where, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Like the 20, like 21, 22, that's the end. If I got to wait all the way, how long I have to wait after that? To get to the morrow after the Sabbath to start count? Oh, we all confused. Go ahead,
Okay. So I kind of see where the confusion may have been, because I'm looking, it says even until the morrow after the seventh Sabbath shall you number 50 days. So after the seventh Sabbath, that next day will equal the whole 50 days.
Exactly. That's why.
Because some people might think it says even until the morrow after the seventh Sabbath shall you number it like an additional 50 days.
Yeah,
that's the. Okay, yeah, that was the confusion.
I done heard a number of different ways they done did it. So like going back to 15, I'm making a little fun out of it. But on the number 15, it says, "And ye shall count unto you from the morrow after the Sabbath," right? Some people do this. They say, "Oh, that Sabbath is talking about the last day of unleavened bread." Man, I done heard it all a lot. Some people literally, I'm telling you, and there ain't no disrespect, I'm telling you all these things that I've heard. So now, there's no way in the world you can do what the Most High said to do according to this book if you're not dealing with the morrow after the 7-day Sabbath, which is the weekly Sabbath. Because all of this, they try to basically say there ain't no weekly Sabbath. And they do that, with all due respect, a lot of them do it so that they don't have to be under the ordinances of the weekly Sabbath.
And that's why he explained too, when you practice the lunar Sabbath doctrine, you got 2 days left in every month that does not accounted for. They call transitional days. So your Pentecost will be off just because of that. Yeah.
That's the name that they gave it, but it's 2 unexplained days in a month that just disappear.
Depending on which one, yeah, it's 1 or 2. And then they wait to the new moon again for it to be their Sabbath. So that's an 8 or 9 day period in between, you see what I'm saying? Which don't make sense.
Very convenient when you don't want to keep the commandments, when you don't want to actually keep the Sabbath. Yes, sir. Absolutely not. He's not the author of confusion either. Now watch this. Go to the book of Genesis chapter 29. And let's get 26 through 28.
The book of Genesis chapter 29, verse 26. And Laban said, "It must not be so done in our country to give the younger before the firstborn."
So this is Laban, the father-in-law of Jacob, and the father of his 2 wives, right? Leah and Rachel. Now, the story goes, Jacob, he said, "I want your daughter Rachel. I'm digging her." He said, "I worked 7 years for you." Laban said, "Okay, cool. I'd rather be with you than anybody else." Because Laban, he was technically of the same family. And he said, "Man, I know what stock you come from. I would love to give my daughter to you. Work for me 7 years, and I'll give her to you." So then, at this point, Laban pulled a fast one on him. He was like, "Hey, I know you worked 7 years, but here, it ain't good to give the younger first. You got to give the older one away first. So I'm going to give you the older one. I'm going to give you Leah." Watch this. Read.
"Fulfill her week."
Her what?
Her week.
Her what?
Her week.
Her what?
Her week.
Her what?
Her week.
Watch this. Read.
"And we will give thee this also for the service which thou shalt serve with me yet 7 other years."
What's the number?
7 other years.
A week is synonymous with what number?
7.
7. Read 28.
"And Jacob did so, and fulfilled her week."
Fulfilled 7 years. Read.
"And he gave him Rachel his daughter to wife also."
I don't know how you get around that. How do you get around that? The week is synonymous with 7. So for us, a 7-day week is literally 7 days. That's a week. The Most High goes as far as to say a day is as what? 1,000 years is as a day in the eyes of the Most High. So during his creation, it wasn't a literal 7 days, but it was still consistent of intervals of 7. Right here is no different. We're talking about years, but a week is consistent with intervals of what? 7. You even have a thing called a Jubilee. 7 weeks, 7. Go to Exodus chapter 16. And let's get 23.
The book of Exodus chapter 16, verse 23. And he said unto them, this is that which the Most High hath said. Tomorrow is the rest of the holy Sabbath unto the Most High. Bake that which ye will bake today, and seethe that ye will seethe. And that which remaineth over lay up for you to be kept until the morning.
So he said, everything you got to cook, go ahead and cook it now, and whatever you got left is going to be left for the morning time for you. Go ahead.
And they laid it up till the morning, as Moses bade. And it did not stink, neither was there any worm therein.
Go ahead.
And Moses said, eat that today, for today is a Sabbath unto the Most High. Today ye shall not find it in the field.
Go ahead.
6 days ye shall gather it. But on the 7th day, which is the Sabbath, in it there shall be none.
So you telling me the Most High would make such a big deal about this, about giving us a day of rest? And he specifies over and over 6 days. You got 6 days, 6 days, 6 days. Handle your business, do all you got to do 6 days, and on the 7th day, I'm going to let you rest. You need this. And you telling me after that 7th day, he'll let you go from 8 to 28 or 30 with no rest? Go ahead.
To simplify things, I know a lot of people, they're saying like the days of the week are named after the gods, which you explained earlier. But to simplify it, there's 7 slots that are days of a week. So people are getting confused because of the names. Forget the names. There's 7 days within this slot, and it's a beginning and an end. And that's how our forefathers
The last
wrote.
slot is the 7th slot.
The last slot is the 7th slot, right.
Go ahead and read.
Was that 23 out?
Oh,
no, that was 26.
26, yeah, go ahead.
Exodus 16 and 27. And it came to pass that there went out some of the people on the 7th day for to gather, and they found none. And the Most High said unto Moses, how long refuse ye to keep my commandments and my laws? See, for that the Most High hath given you the Sabbath, therefore giveth you on the 6th day the bread of 2 days.
You see that? Everybody and their mama's so worried about missing that Sabbath bread. If I don't work on Saturday my biggest day. And he's telling you according to his law and his grace. He said, if you just do what I tell you, I'll make sure I give you double. I'm not going to let you starve. Whatever you leave out, I'm not going to let it rot. I'm going to take care of you. You disrespect the Most High to the fullest when you say I'm not going to keep your 7th day. In the book of Hebrews chapter 4, it tells you exactly what it is. He said to the people of the Most High, to the Israelites, he said, it's still that same day. He said, you don't trust in me to give you double, to take care of your needs, to the point where you want to say that, oh, I'll keep a lunar Sabbath so that you can still handle your business and take care of your family, so to speak. And then you wondering why you ain't doing as well as you think you should be doing. You go out there and the Bible said there wasn't nothing for them to gather. Go ahead, Doc. God, absolutely. Bag with holes in it. And a lot of us get more and more holes because we keep on breaking Sabbaths. Go ahead.
Let no man go out of his place on the 7th day.
Uh-huh.
So the people rested on the 7th day.
They did what?
the people rested on the seventh day.
They actually rested on the seventh day. That was a day they rested from everything in the world, from their business, from all of that. Ain't thinking about no bills, ain't thinking about none of that crap. On the seventh day. Go from there. Stay in Exodus. I want 20. Exodus chapter 20. And let's get verse 8 through 11.
Exodus 20, verse 8. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
Why does he have to tell us to remember it? He's telling you, he's also telling you to remember what we just read. Because if you don't think it's going to be consequences for you breaking it, you need to remember what happened back when. Remember it. Don't get so caught up in, oh, I forgot it's the Sabbath. Some of us, especially when you first get in and you mess, oh, I put something in the microwave. He said, you better remember it. You find yourself, especially when you first come in, you got to do the extras to make sure that you don't break it. You can't be going here and there when you don't normally, because then you be out and you be done forgot it's the Sabbath. He said you better make sure you remember, make it a lifestyle, because your soul depends on it. But it's a beautiful thing when you embrace the Sabbath. It be feeling so good when the Sabbath finally get here. Boy. It be feeling good. But watch this read.
6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work.
6 days you hustling, you grinding. Go ahead.
But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work. Thou nor thy sons, nor thy daughters. He said
not only you, but he said your sons and your daughters. Put them to work 6 days, because some of y'all don't like to put your kids to work. Put them to work. But he said even on the Sabbath, even they get to rest. Your kids get to rest. Who else?
Your daughter, thy manservants.
Even employees that you got, man or woman, guess what? Don't be saying, oh, well, they don't keep the Sabbath. No way. No, give them rest as well. Read.
Nor thy maidservants, nor thy cattle.
Even your cattle, you got pets. Let them rest. Read.
Nor thy strangers that is within thy gate.
He ain't Edomite. I can let him work for me. No, let him rest. Go ahead.
For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it.
It's a holy day. So for you to sit up there and try to misconstrue that and say, nah, he said 7 days. It's a holy day. Keep that. It ain't one of those things where I'm an Israelite and, I kind of do what I do. No, you're going to bust hell wide open if you don't keep the Sabbath. Exodus chapter 23 and verse 12.
Exodus 23 and verse 12. 6 days shalt thou do thy work.
6 days shall you do your work. Read.
And on the seventh day thou shalt rest.
You got to rest. You got to rest on the seventh day, and that's every week. You need ain't no way in the world I'm trying to work 3 consecutive weeks. Actually 4. Before I get another day of rest. You got me messed up. Even Esau know better than that. He know you got to have a certain amount of time. Goodness. Read.
That thine ox and thine ass may rest.
The Most High said, because you ain't got enough sense to know your animals need rest. Read.
And the son of thy handmaid and the stranger may be refreshed.
But watch this. Why? That they may be refreshed. We need to be refreshed. Some of us, we be working and working and working and then can't figure out why we not productive and we making all kind of mistakes because you don't get no rest. You need to be refreshed. And a lot of times, some of the things you think that you're doing to refresh yourself, you're not, because you continuously processing stuff and you still putting when you on the internet and you scrolling social media, your brain's still going. Put it to rest. Rest. Go from there. Exodus 31, 16 and 17.
Exodus chapter 31, verse 16. Wherefore the children of Israel shall keep the Sabbath to
the Israelites, let the other nations do whatever they want to do. But us, the children of Israel, we got to keep the Sabbath. Read.
To observe the Sabbath throughout their generations for a perpetual covenant.
Go ahead.
It is a sign between me and the children of Israel forever.
Go ahead.
For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth.
Now, we're talking about the Most High, but more specifically, because people ask this question, they say, well, the Most High, he the Most High. Why would he need to rest? That don't even sound right. Most High, after 6 days, he got tired and needed to rest. Don't even make no sense to me. But the Bible tells you who was the one that was actually forging the foreman, if you will, the actual creator. Then guess who it was? It was actually Yahweh Shai. It was Yahweh Shai. So at the end of it all, guess who rested? He rested. And he was doing something that a good creator would do, teaching us how to live. A lot of us, we go through hell in life because we don't know the basis of just how to live and how to take care of ourselves. He was teaching you how to take care of yourself. He was protecting you from you. Read.
And on the seventh day, he rested and was refreshed.
On the seventh day, he, Lord, Yahweh, but more specifically, the ambassador, Yahweh Shai, when you see the word God, really, it's actually plural, Allahayam, meaning gods, meaning powers, because Yahweh Shai was the one that was saying, let it be this, and all of the other celestial beings was like, okay, over here, yeah, right there, that look good. Yahweh Shai was the mastermind behind all of the things that you see created here. All praise be to the Heavenly Father. And if you know anything, when you use your brain, using your brain can make you much more tired than actually using your physicality. Imagine all of the things that were created here that you marvel at. There are things that you'll never see in this lifetime. You can't even see everything that was to be created. And all those things in his brain, he was able to conceive and say, nah, this needs to go like that. Gave the species. I'm going to butcher that word, so I ain't going to even try it. I tried it. I was. But it wasn't going to come out right. So you know what I want. You know the word I'm trying to get. Species. Oh, there you go. Somebody said it. Who said it? There you go. That's the one right there. It wasn't gonna come out right. I caught it before I said it. What's up, man? I knew I wasn't gonna get it right, but I thought I appreciate that, you child.
But look, check this out. It says, and on the seventh day he rested and was refreshed. This is talking about the creation. The moon was created on the fourth day. So 3 days later, Yahweh Shai rested. So that shows you that the lunar Sabbath does not govern the 7-day week.
Not at all. That's one of the things that shows you. Because they be trying to refute everything, but that's one basic thing for somebody that'll sit up there and be like, nah, you full of doo-doo. Isaiah chapter 8 and verse 20. If they speak not according to this word, know that it's because it ain't no light in them. All right? It's going to be the last one, Mark chapter 2. And let's get 27 through 28.
The book of Mark, chapter 2, verse 27. And he said unto them, the Sabbath was made for man, and not man for the Sabbath.
That's Yahweh Shai speaking. Because sometimes we get it all misconstrued. He said, look, you sitting up here looking at it like it's a punishment, like it's this great burden that lays over your head, like you've been made a... Because that's what people feel. You telling me I can't go to the store when I want to go to the store? You telling me I can't buy something if I need to go and buy something, need me a cigarette? That's the way some people think about it. But when you actually keep this Sabbath, don't it be peaceful? to be peaceful. He said, I didn't make you to be subservient and a slave to the Sabbath. He said, I made the Sabbath for you, for your health, for your benefit, for your peace of mind. Absolutely, absolutely. Go ahead and read.
Verse 28. Therefore the Son of Man is Lord also of the Sabbath.
And what it means is it's telling you the exact thing that I told you a minute ago. Yahweh Shai is the Lord of the Sabbath, meaning what? When you read back way in creation in Genesis where it talks about, and he was refreshed, it's talking about Yahweh Shai. And he instituted something that he knew that would be pivotal in our success. You got to rest. What we've learned is living in the mantra that they spew in rap songs and all of this nonsense that you watch. I'm hustling 24/7 every day. I'm getting it, girl. I'm getting it, homie. I'm telling you, it's a dumb mindset, and you ain't going to last long. He said the ones that really got it good, he said they rest whenever they want to rest. Because they got those that, Diddy said it. Diddy said, look here, he said, let me break something down to you. He said, I make all of this money so that I could pay people to do all of the stuff that I don't want to do. And I can actually spend my time doing stuff that I need to do, like building my family up and doing things that I enjoy. He said, that's the reason why I go so hard to make the money I make. So I can pay people to do stuff that I don't want to do. And that's what y'all got to understand. We got a slave. That's why the scripture says, is Israel a homeborn slave? Like you think, like this is how you think. It's sad, and I've had this conversation with people. It's sad when you get up early for your job and make sure your behind is on time, but you won't do that for your own business. You can't get out the bed. You a slave for real. Somebody ought to be convicted right now, because we ought to have a whole lot more popping off within us with our businesses. You with your own business, you can't seem to muster up the discipline. But when somebody paying you a check telling you that your life is only worth so many dollars an hour, you go above and beyond. You don't want to be late. You be all happy when they make you employee of the month. If you get this concept down right here, he said you'll thrive. You'll thrive in your own business. If you understand 6 days I go hard, 7th day I shut it all down. I'm resting. And I make people respect that. People respect you when you make them respect what it is that you stand for. All praise be to the Heavenly Father.